I was standing on my parents' front porch on Christmas Eve, looking through the window at my family eating dinner without me, when my sister Vanessa opened the door just wide enough to say, "Sophia, we already told you. This dinner is for successful family members only. Maybe next year when you get your life together." Mr. Peterson was walking his dog right past me. I was holding a gift I designed myself, and I realized in that moment, they had no idea who I really was. My name's Sophia Mitchell. I'm 26 years old. And for most of my life, I've been the family disappointment. My sister Vanessa? She's a real estate agent with the flashy lifestyle to prove it. Designer bags, new car every 2 years, Instagram feed that looks like a magazine spread. My parents worship the ground she walks on. Me? I work from home doing freelance graphic design. At least, that's what my family thinks I do. They see my 10-year-old Honda in the driveway and my small apartment across town, and they've made their assumptions. No corner office, no corporate title, no boyfriend to show off at family dinners. So I became the project child, the one they pitied, the one they whispered about when they thought I couldn't hear. I spent years trying to prove myself at every family gathering, trying to explain what I did, trying to show them my work, trying to matter. 2 years ago, I stopped trying. I kept my head down. I built something quietly, something they never bothered to ask about. Because here's the thing, I wasn't rich or glamorous by their standards, but I had built something they couldn't see. And honestly, I'd learned that the less my family knew about my life, the less they could use against me. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. I need to know I'm not alone in this. It started 3 weeks before Christmas. Mom sent a group text about the annual family Christmas dinner. Dinner at 6 p.m. Dress nicely. We're celebrating Vanessa's big promotion. I replied that I'd be there, asked if I could bring anything. Vanessa's response came fast. "Just bring yourself, Soph. We know money's tight for you." That emoji. God, that emoji. But I let it go. Then the day before Christmas Eve, I got a private text from Mom. "Sophia, honey, we need to talk about tomorrow. Vanessa is bringing her boss and some important clients. We think it's best if you come by earlier for a quick visit instead of staying for dinner." I stared at my phone. "Why?" I texted back. "It's a professional dinner now. Vanessa worked hard for this opportunity. We don't want any awkwardness. You understand, right? We'll save you a plate." Awkwardness? I was the awkwardness. I showed up anyway at 6 p.m. I'd dressed nicely. I'd brought that gift. A custom design I'd spent hours on. Dad answered the door and his face went pale. "Sophia, your mother texted you." Vanessa appeared behind him in a black cocktail dress that probably cost more than my rent. "Oh my God, she actually came. Mom, she's here." I could see past them into the dining room. The table was set for exactly 8 people. Vanessa's boss and colleagues sat there, wine glasses already full. There was no seat for me. "Sophia, this is so embarrassing," Vanessa said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "This is a networking dinner. You can't just crash because you're lonely." Mom appeared with a Tupperware container. "Sweetheart, here's some food to take home. We'll do our own celebration later, okay?" I took the container because I didn't know what else to do. Mr. Peterson was still out there with his dog, watching the whole thing. "Maybe next Christmas you'll have something to celebrate too," Vanessa added, her hand on the door. "We're all rooting for you." The door closed. I stood there on the porch, holding a Tupperware container of leftovers from a dinner I wasn't allowed to attend. I could hear laughter inside. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, hands shaking, staring at that container. And I made a decision. Christmas morning, I woke up alone. I checked my phone out of habit. Vanessa had posted Instagram stories. The whole family was there. Mom, Dad, Vanessa, even my cousins, opening presents around the tree. The caption read, "Nothing like Christmas with my favorite people." I wasn't tagged in a single photo. I texted Dad, "Merry Christmas, Dad. Are we still doing presents later?" His response came 3 hours later. "Merry Christmas, honey. Vanessa organized everything this morning. It was last minute. Let's catch up in New Year." Even Christmas morning had been too important to include me. 2 days later, I ran into my aunt at the coffee shop near my apartment. "Oh, Sophia!" She grabbed my arm. "I heard about Christmas. Don't feel bad, sweetie." "I'm fine, really." Her voice carried across the whole shop. "Your mother told me they didn't want to put you in an uncomfortable position. You know, with all the successful people there. It was actually kind of them when you think about it." People were staring. "Vanessa's doing so well. 6 figures. And here you are still doing your little art things on the computer." She squeezed my hand like I was a wounded animal. "Have you thought about getting a real job? I know someone hiring at a call center." "I like what I do," I said quietly. "Well, pride doesn't pay bills, does it? Your parents are just worried about you." I left without ordering my coffee. New Year's Eve, my phone rang. "Mom." "Honey, Vanessa's throwing a New Year's party and needs some graphic design work. Invitations, social media posts, that sort of thing." My stomach tightened. "That's great. I can send her my rates." "Rates?" Mom laughed. "Sophia, this is family. Plus it's great exposure. Vanessa's boss will see your work." Vanessa grabbed the phone. "Come on, Soph. You're not seriously going to charge your own sister? Especially after Mom and Dad paid for your college?" "I paid my own way," I said. "Scholarships and loans. You know that." "Whatever. I thought you'd want to help since we're always helping you. Guess I'll ask a real designer." She hung up. I sat in my apartment as fireworks exploded outside. But here's the thing. I didn't cry this time. I opened my laptop and looked at the documents on my screen, the ones they knew nothing about. I smiled. Let them think what they want. My phone buzzed. A text from a number I had saved without a name. "You ready for the new year?" "Everything's in place," I replied. "More than ready." What they didn't know was that my little art things had become something else entirely. 2 years ago, I started designing logos and branding packages for small businesses. I was good at it. Really good. One client, a tiny startup with no budget, offered me equity instead of full payment. I took it. That startup became a successful app company. My equity share plus my design agency income, it added up to something substantial. Not millions, but enough. Enough to have saved a serious nest egg. Enough to have worked with a financial advisor named Patricia for the last 18 months. Patricia told me once, "Don't make decisions based on proving anyone wrong. Make them because they're right for you." Part of me wanted to throw it all in their faces, but the bigger part just wanted to disappear from their toxicity. On my laptop sat 2 documents. 1, a contract for a rebranding project with a major client, worth $45,000. 2, closing papers for a 2-bedroom condo downtown. I was putting down $140,000, no cosigner, no help. My calendar had a reminder for January 15th. Family dinner at parents' house, Vanessa's idea. I hadn't responded yet. They'd expect the same broken-down version of me, but I was done being their charity case. January 10th, I met with Diane, my old design professor and business mentor. She knows everything. "Are you actually going to this dinner?" she asked, after what they did. I keep thinking I should just cut them off. But there's this part of me that needs them to see me, you know? Really see me. Diane leaned forward. "Then show them. Not to prove anything, but to free yourself from caring what they think. She helped me prepare. Go, be honest, then walk away on your own terms. The group text came January 12th. Vanessa. Mom's making her famous roast. Be there at 6. Actually, Sophia, come at 5:30. We need to talk to you about something first. My stomach dropped. We need to talk. Never means anything good. I confirmed I'd be there. That night, my cousin Jessica texted me. Hey, heads up. I think they're planning some kind of intervention about your career. Vanessa's been going on about tough love. Just warning you. I thanked her. Jessica was the only one who'd been kind. I decided to bring proof, just in case. I printed everything. Bank statements, the contract, the condo closing, documents. Put them in a folder. Practiced in the mirror. I don't need to justify myself. I don't need their approval. But my hands still shook as I drove to my parents' house on January 15th. I arrived at 5:30. Only Vanessa and my parents were there, waiting in the living room. It felt formal, serious. Mom gestured to the couch. Sit down, honey. We need to have a family discussion. I sat. 3 concerned faces stared at me. This was an ambush. Dad started. Sophia, we're doing this because we love you. We're worried. Mom jumped in. You're 26, living alone in that tiny apartment, no boyfriend, no stable career. What Mom's trying to say is, Vanessa interrupted, we think it's time you got serious about your life. I am serious about my life. Vanessa's smile was condescending. Sophia, come on. I've been talking to my boss. They have an opening in their admin department. Entry level, but it's steady. I pulled strings to get you an interview. Isn't that wonderful? Mom beamed. Vanessa's trying to help you. I don't need... Dad cut me off. Pride, Sophia. That's always been your problem. Your sister is offering you a real opportunity. Vanessa slid a business card across the coffee table. Interviews on Thursday. Salary's $38K to start. I know it's not much, but it's more than you're making now with your freelancing. I stared at the card, and I started laughing. Not hysterical, just genuinely amused. This isn't funny, Sophia, Mom said. You think I make less than $38K a year? Vanessa smirked. Well, obviously. Look at your car, your apartment. You've never asked what I make. None of you have. You just assumed. I pulled the folder from my bag. What's this? Dad asked. Since we're having an honest conversation about my future, let's be fully honest. I slid the bank statement across the table. That's one of my business accounts. I have 2 others. Vanessa grabbed it. Her eyes went wide. This says, last year I grossed $170K. After taxes and business expenses, I took home about $110K. Silence. Mom's voice was small. That can't be right. I showed them the contract. This is my current project, $45K for a 3-month rebranding package. I have 2 more lined up after. Dad picked it up. Speechless. Why are you living in that apartment then? Vanessa's voice went sharp. Why drive that old car? Because I was saving. For this. I laid out the condo closing documents. I close in 1 week. 2-bedroom downtown. I'm putting down $140K. No cosigner needed. I stood up. You excluded me from Christmas because you were embarrassed of me. You treated me like a charity case. And the whole time, you never once asked about my actual life. Honey, we didn't know. Mom started. You didn't want to know. It was easier to believe I was failing. Vanessa stood too, anger flashing. So what? You were just hiding this? To make us look bad? I wasn't hiding anything. You never asked. There's a difference. Dad found his voice. Sophia, this changes things. No, Dad, it doesn't. My bank account doesn't make me more worthy of a seat at your table. I always deserve that. I picked up my documents. Stay for dinner, please. Mom's voice cracked. We can celebrate. Celebrate what? That I'm finally successful enough to deserve your respect? I walked to the door. You're being dramatic, Vanessa called after me. We were trying to help you. I turned back one last time. No. You were trying to make yourselves feel better about looking down on me. There's a difference. I closed the door, got in my old car, drove away. Through the window, I could see them sitting in stunned silence. 2 weeks later, I moved into my condo. Jessica and Diane helped me. Have you heard from them? Jessica asked, unpacking boxes in my kitchen. Mom's called 4 times. Vanessa texted an apology that was really just excuses. Dad sent money. I sent it back. I wasn't angry anymore, just free. The validation I'd spent 26 years craving didn't mean anything now that I had it. They only cared when I fit their definition of success. That evening, I stood on my balcony with coffee in my hand, looking out at the city. My phone buzzed. Mom, can we please talk? Family is family. I stared at it for a long moment. Didn't delete it. Didn't respond. I opened my email instead. New client inquiry. Another major project. For 26 years, I'd been trying to earn a place at their table. I finally realized I didn't need their table. I'd built my own. Jessica came out to the balcony with a housewarming gift. We laughed, toasted with coffee. I looked around my new space. Mine. Earned. Chosen. Their silence used to hurt me. Now, it was just quiet. And in that quiet, I finally heard my own voice. If this story hit home for you, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Have you ever had to prove yourself to family who never believed in you? Your story matters. Your success matters, whether anyone in your family sees it or not. I read every single comment and I want to hear from you. Drop your story below and let's remind each other. We don't need their approval to know our worth. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.